uncover any wrongdoing. Business Leadership South Africa has suspended KPMG's membership pending the outcome of an independent investigation. To explain this move, I'm joined in studio by the organization's Chief Executive, Bonang Mohale. Thank you so much for coming in to speak to us, Bonang. Lovely to have you with us. For starters, I understand you simply didn't spring this on KPMG, that you went through a process of talks with them before you decided this was the best move.
Absolutely, and this has been going on for some time, from the minute that we heard of the allegations themselves from Trevor Hole and the CFO and the team. And after that process, the board then took a decision that says, we are grateful for the actions we have already taken to clean up the entire leadership team. Is quite dramatic to return the 23 million rand for a report which we think is disproportionate, and also to say we'll impose a further fine of 40 million rand to go to some sort of an NGO. I think it's real action. But we go to the commitment that we made when we launched the new BLSA strategy in Alexander, where we made a contract with South Africa. And the last piece says we are going to combat and root out corruption. And then we took an anti-corruption oath, which we call the Integrity Pledge, that says we must comply with all the laws. We are not going to bribe, we are not going to steal, we are not going to cheat. We are explicit that we are not going to act anti-competitively, that we are going to cooperate with the authorities because we are concerned with the economy. It's our country. It belongs to all South Africa, including business. We were left with no choice but to suspend KPMG, that their actions to allow themselves as an auditing firm, the police as it were, to be party to a project of state capture, to issue a report that in their own admission says it's below our own standard and does not meet our ethical standard. And for this report to be out in the open for so many months and years and used incorrectly, and KPMG not once did they say, no, that's not the conclusions we arrived at. No, in fact, that was not the intention of the report. When you are sitting with 23 million rand in your pockets, we felt that was unethical, it was unprofessional, and by that action, they are choosing not to be members of Business Leadership South Africa.
Let me just ask you about the apologies they put forward, the 9 or so executives who've fallen on their sword after the international company intervened. Do you really feel that they've done all they can to ensure that they redeem themselves in the eyes of the South African?
No, not at all. We believe that there's still more to come. We believe that the apology falls short. When we spoke to KPMG, we were very explicit. We said, crisis management 101, tell the truth, tell the whole truth, tell it quickly. It's better if it comes from you. Tell us everything that you know, empty the cupboards, take final accountability. Maybe, just maybe, South Africa might work with you in ensuring that you atone for your sins. And what would we get? Drip feeding of issues and events as and when they became available. It's unfortunate that we do it at the time that one of Africa's best, Nomhlamulo Dlomu, is now the new CEO, the first African female to lead an auditing firm. As business, we want to be counseling, coaching, and holding her by the hand and supporting her. And now we do it just at this moment when we have just completed our process. But also, it hurts us to say there's probably 3,400 professional men and women of good standing who do things wholesomely, and we know that they are not the ones that have embarked on the project of state capture. And we know that KPMG as a firm itself is an asset to the South African economy, especially when you look at the banks that they have to have 2 auditors and there's big 4. If you do the math, with just a partner rotation, 2023, now a requirement to have an audit firm rotation. Clearly there won't be enough to go around. With the eye on the economy and the well-being of South Africans, we still felt absolutely compelled that this will be the right thing to suspend their membership pending the outcome of this, independent of KPMG, independent of the auditing profession. Let's see what it tells us. Maybe, just maybe, when the facts change, we might change our mind.
I'm interested to know, Bonang, what the feeling like is among your members right now, that we are entering a period where business is as much under the spotlight for corruption, alleged state capture, as government is. Because business was quite happy to sit back and point fingers at government over corruption as this information came to light through various journalistic investigations. Now, all of a sudden, the spotlight has been turned on you guys. The spotlight has been turned on corruption within business. Is there nervousness in your organization? Is there an inclination to come clean about the sins of corporate South Africa?
Exactly. I could not agree with you more. We have always been very explicit that we stand for the rooting out and crushing of corruption, whether it occurs in the public or private sector. And we have always said that we want to start by cleaning our own house first and foremost before we start calling the kettle black. We have always said it behooves business to comply with all the laws and regulations and to be exemplary. That's why
members buy into that.
Of course they do, because first of all, you sell this contract with South Africa with 6 commitments. You then come up with an integrity pledge that has been circulated, sensitized, and signed by a 12-strong member board. They take it to 80-member council, and every single solitary one of the CEOs say that's how we want to behave, starting from here, moving forward. And then we say to 55 million South Africans, starting from today, measure us by this, hold us accountable to this, including an anti-corruption oath that we just took in Alexander. We could have easily done what we have done in the last 59 years and done it from the Sandton Convention Center. But we wanted to demonstrate beyond any shadow of doubt that we want to position business as a national asset.
Thank you so much for coming in to talk to us this afternoon. Bonang Mohale from Business Leadership.